Okay, there we go. You know what? I'm over here talking and blah, 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 and I had my microphone on mute. Thank you so much for that. Let's try this again. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I'm not sure why I did this. Thank you, Hector. I appreciate you saying it so quiet. That definitely got my attention. Let's say hi to everybody. Happy Sunday, folks. THS, good morning. The Acadian Carpenter, hope you're doing well. Steve looking for Silver Brother, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hector's Interest, Cartier Silver, James Valley, thank you guys for being in the stream. DGS MMA, hope you're having a wonderful day. Stay cool down there in Phoenix, Arizona. I hope James Schultz, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, we're going to be doing something that it's kind of standard Sunday Chit Chat. Now, Eric Byer's not going to be able to be in today because they have guests. They have stuff that they have to take care of because of the holiday, so not a big deal. Paula will probably be up later. But I want to do something that is a little bit different. Turn your volume down, TJ. Washington State Jags fan, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. The Acadian Carpenter, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That's exactly right. I'm going to share this infographic with you, and this is something that I'm going to be doing more of on this channel. I do this professionally, now not numismatics, but I look at process improvement, strategies improvement, and try to find ways to make things better. And I'm going to start implementing more of this because I want to dig a little bit deeper into some of these items. So as we look into this, I want to utilize this graphic, and this is a series of graphics in a sheet that I'm designing specifically around numismatics, the history, and how things are going. So this is just a small piece of this. What's up, Farm Dog? Good morning. But I want to start utilizing a little bit more kind of professional lens when we start looking at some of the discussions that we're having. So what I want to do today is I want you guys just to look at the infographic here and let's talk a little bit about numismatics. We talk about counterfeiting a lot in this channel. We have some amazing people that support this. Paula Bloom, Chuck Daughtry, Eric Byer, Jack Young, Mike, Matt. There's tons and tons of people who are constantly on the lookout for you all regarding counterfeits and good information and sourcing your information. But numismatics has some really good things about it and really bad things about it. And one of the advents that's kind of changed the way numismatic functions is social media. The advent, the development of tools, the development of resources, how quick and how easy it is for people to put out information. And that's kind of one of the major things that I want to talk about today. Next, I want to talk about some of the barriers. And because we're constantly improving items within the United States Mint, improving processes, we talk about the silver metal, the flowing hair, the privy coin. The first time that they did the laser engraved die, they didn't do the hubbing process. And so doing that eliminates the opportunity for some types of errors. Is that going to hurt the hobby? So there's a lot of opportunity here. I want you guys to be able to look at this and then ask questions. And let's kind of talk about that piece. So I'm going to, if I can have a moderator remove TJ, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm sorry, buddy, but you can be in here and say whatever you want, but I need you to be a little bit more respectful. Get over here. Hold on just a sec, folks. I got to do a little bit of work here. Farm Dogs head to the Black Hills. Outstanding. Appreciate that. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Let me Give me just a moment. Let me. All right, now that's taken care of. We won't have to worry about that anymore. All right, sorry about that. Just needed to make sure that you can be in the channel. Anybody can be in the channel, but show a little bit of respect. I don't need people swearing and hollering. All right. So let's see. Just stopped to say good morning. Headed to the Black Hills National Cemetery to pull flags. That's awesome, Farm Dog. I'm glad that you're doing that. We talked about that yesterday and the opportunities that present themselves in situations for really understanding what the premise, what the meaning of Memorial Day is. You know, we do a lot of stuff that brings out family and friends. We do barbecues and stuff like that. But going out and doing things like posting flags or pulling the flags out, cleaning gravestones, doing those kind of things, really helps alter the perception, the mindset of what the holiday is actually about. So outstanding. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that, brother. Really, really appreciate that. All right, so let's go ahead and dig into this this SWOT. Now, as the Acadian Carpenter put in chat, a SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And so when we look at this, this is something that helps us to have at a quick glance just an understanding, kind of a quick insight of what our major factors are, what the problem is. So let's focus in on strengths. So as we're talking about this, why don't you add some additional strengths regarding numismatics and stacking, right? I mean, this is targeted specifically to numismatics, but we can talk about stacking. So what are some of the, here's Paula. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
She's like, you're starting early. So we have Wounded Warrior.
You are, I know.
Yeah, we have Wounded Warrior, so I have to be done by like 9:30 to make sure that I get the sheets and get everything ready for that today.
Absolutely.
You did good yesterday. It's going to be interesting. They have have some big ticket items today. Really looking forward to that. What's up, Kevin? How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well.
Might be able to pop over there for a bit today. We'll see.
Yeah, they had some decent lots. There's two I'm looking for. I picked up one yesterday, but there are only three pieces that I'm interested in. I'm not going to be able to buy one just because I know what it's going to go for. It's like the shield nickel, right? You knew the one you wanted to go for St. Jude, but it's like, come on.
Yeah, forget about it.
But Mr. Pintoff is the one who won that one. I know where that coin's at. But yeah, so there's two lots that I'm looking for, and I won't be able to get them both, but I'll be able to get one or the other. So we'll see how that goes. So what I've done today is I've created this little infographic talking about numismatics, the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in the hobby. And I want to just kind of talk about some of these things.
Okie dokie.
The surprise bank of Pintoff. Yeah, THS, he's an amazing supporter of these big events. Actually, he's a great supporter of many channels. He's quite the collector and does some amazing stuff. And yeah, good dude. Definitely a good dude. Did I say the intrinsic value? You'll have to clarify a little bit what you mean. Hedge against inflation. Okay, so let's talk about hedge against inflation. So, Paula, here's a good question. Is numismatics a good hedge against inflation?
Not generally, no.
Okay, and the clarifier, the quantifier to that is rare and ultimately rare coins, right? So other than that, no. Numismatics generally is not. And why is that? Well, because coins don't always stay high.
Right.
There are no oops, man. This is good discussion. These are good questions. This is how you learn, right? Say things. Put your ideas out there. And okay, so silver and gold are different. They're precious metals. Totally something different. Now, when we're talking about numismatic items, it doesn't mean that junk silver, or as many people still call it, constitutional silver. That is a good way to diversify that portfolio and to put that stuff away and to have that. But is that an offset? No, that's more of a prepping style thing than it is really a hedge against inflation. You want to hedge against inflation, you're going to be buying gold, right? That's going to be kind of your key thing. Why do I say that? Well, if you look at the gold, and I can actually pull up a graphic on this and share this with you as well. Let me pull this up real quick, and I'll explain why that is a big one. I just need to find. I can't remember if it's gold annualized return against. No, that's not the right one. I'll have to find this. I'll continue to look for that one. Kevin Rose was told by the investment banker, diversity doesn't mean having multiple metals. It means having more than just metals. Yeah, absolutely. So diversification in your portfolio would be something like crypto, metals, stock. Bonds, cash, right? That's the diversification of your portfolios. And you can diversify with each one of those, but when you're talking about your portfolio, it's your major categories. When you're talking about numismatics, they're not necessarily good to hedge yourself against.
They don't always hold value, though.
Yeah. Sometimes they will go up and sometimes they will go down. And there's a lot of times where if you're the first actor on something on numismatics, you can lose your butt. Great example of that.
All it takes is for a hoard to be found of something, and the value drops.
Yeah, the Morgan dollar, the one that there were only a few, and all of a sudden they found the GSA, and now the $3,000 coin now goes for $250. Right? Or another great example of this is something that everybody thinks is a rarity when it first comes out, i.e. the spitting horse or the speared eagle or speared bison or the, those types of things where you jump on the initial madhouse of the particular item. I always reference what my friend did in the Order series when they first found the extra trees, spent $1,500 on a coin, and now that coin is barely worth a few hundred. So you've got to be very careful about, being early actors and things like that. So you do have to be careful. That is one of the potential threats. And it's not listed here, but it is a potential threat that if you are an early actor in something, it's the same thing for any early adopter, right? If you're buying an iPhone and you're one of the first people to buy the first iPhone that comes out, there are some technological issues that you might face. Whereas if you wait until the second session, then you might be able to have some of those firmware issues or hardware issues resolved prior to you receiving it. Same thing happens with the purchase of numismatics, errors, varieties, things of that nature. We see that even with the silver metal, the gold flowing hair. You see some of these prices that people paid for some of these coins, and they're settling down. Now, the silver metal is going to continue to drop a little bit in price, but it's pretty much settled, and it's settled at about $1,800 to $2,300 less than what it was going for when the big freaking panic thing was going on, and everybody wanted it, or it's clamoring over getting that privy mark. So this is one reason why numismatics is not necessarily a good hedge against inflation. Now, we talked about the exception. The exception in that is the very rare numismatic items. There
was an article just recently put out. I just want to touch on this before we get
you're fine.
Too far. And I don't know a ton about it. I need to read some more about it. But there were for years there have been several like micro O Morgan dollar varieties, and come to find out those are and they've been and the grading companies have been slabbing them and attributing them, and come to find out they are not genuine. None of them.
Yeah, that's a great example.
There's only one. Yeah, there's only 1 year that's actual micro O, but for years there have been several that were believed to be genuine, and it just recently came out that they're not. So I will try to find that and post it for you guys.
And Jack was talking
and
about
they're
that.
Graded.
Yeah, Jack Riley was talking about that. I think that there was an article. I don't know if was it in the recent article that Jack did?
Yeah, his proxy blog. I think he did it.
Yeah, I think he did something. There was a really good article about that, and that's a great example. Yeah. And again, folks, this goes to point out this is another one of the, and it's not listed here, but it is in a sense, and that is the increasing prevalence and sophistication of fakes. Okay. As we start to really identify things like counterfeit coins, when we really start to begin to understand, and you look at Jack Young talking about going to the coin show and having to confront a dealer about a $20,000 coin that's fake. Mm-hmm. Right? So big ticket items are susceptible to this as well. And some of them are really, really good. And so there are cautions to be done. And in everything that you do, there's accepted risk. But when we're looking, gulp. Yeah, exactly. Well, and the problem is that in that particular case, and there's a lot more to the story. I can't really go into much depth about it because I don't have all the details in it. But that was a known coin that had been talked about too by the previous dealer. And so there were some issues there. And so, again, know your sources, trust your sources. But understand that sometimes things sneak by even, well-meaning, well-deserved people. And I was confronted with this yesterday in a discussion that I had been having with somebody, where I jumped on somebody for something that I shouldn't probably have jumped on somebody for. And again, it's one of those things where, none of us are infallible. And sometimes we have to look at that. But when we're looking at strengths, weaknesses, and things of that nature, we have to be careful. And counterfeits, how many coins, like really good counterfeits, are in slab coins in people's collections, and they have no idea. Same thing with gold. There are bullion repositories. I think it's the London Bullion Exchange, where they found a large set of counterfeit gold. Is that the one that was I think it's happened in two, but I think it was one of the major market ones where they found some fake gold bars. So even the professionals can make mistakes when it comes to this. So try to avoid utilizing numismatics as an offset to hedging your fund and stuff like that. Now, Acadian, you did ask another question of me yesterday. I'm looking at my email trying to see if I got any additional questions. Pokerchips.com is where I got. Actually, I didn't get mine from pokerchips.com. I actually got it with Tiger Stacker. We did a place in the UK because he had a relationship with them. And so we actually got ours from some UK place, but a majority of people get theirs from pokerchips.com. And it's easy, a couple of days. You choose your selection. Just make sure you choose the good quality ones. And they go about 23 to 35 or 40 cents per poker chip. So if you're looking at doing one like I have on mine, then that's a good place to get it. So just to answer that question. I guess I should have looked at the screen and trying to fetch my own research. No, again, ask questions, right? This is exactly what Sunday's here for, chit chat and have this discussion. What I wanted to avoid doing, and Paula knows this very well, is sometimes I'm overly random in my, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're just going to let it happen. And that's not a problem. However, I want to make sure that we target some of the discussions a little bit better. So I'm going to try to start putting stuff like this together. And again, this is what I do. I mean, I have all the tools and the resources to build this kind of infographic. So I don't know why I haven't been doing it before. So I'm going to start building more of these for this particular purpose. And again, this one is part of a much bigger infographic that's being designed against some numismatic things to look for, numismatic growth and market analysis regarding numismatics. And so a little bit more professional. A lot of this stuff is going on my LinkedIn, more of my business strategy towards my channel. So you'll be seeing more of this stuff. THS, what year was the 12,333 high relief gold coins again? Mike Noodle, you're in chat. I don't know if you're talking about the 19. What is that? Is it the 1909 wire rim? Are you talking about that high relief coin? Are you talking? I'm not sure. Do you know the answer to that, Paula?
To what? I'm sorry. I'm looking for that article. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It says, what year was the 12,333 high relief gold coins?
I don't know. Let's see.
I'm not sure if it's referencing like the 1909 Godden's Double Eagle, like the wire rim high relief, or if it's referencing the, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're talking about the 12 gold coins. Can you clarify a little bit the double eagles?
Double eagles?
I want to, that's what I think is the 1909. Yeah.
1909?
It's the one, the wire rim and all that stuff. There's, yeah, I think it's the 1909.
Or 1907.
Yeah, it could be 1907 too. I don't remember.
Let's see.
I'm going to look this up real quick as well. Rare coin, high relief, wire edge, 1907, PCGS. Let's pull that up and I will. All right, so let's.
No, 1907 has a higher vintage than that. He said there's only 12 known. Is that?
The high end MS65 is a $60,000 coin for the Gardens. 1907, and that's the one that has the lettered edge, because you have two edge. You have the raised rim, and then you have the wire edge.
Don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one. There might be more.
Let's see. What does this say? It says.
I don't recall there only being 12 though. That's I guess that's where I'm stuck. Now there's one. It's not high relief. There's the one that had the inverted edge lettering. But there were only 2 of those, I believe. Trying to find, what the hell is that called? It's the extremely.
1907. Okay, so there were 4 different edge types for that.
Yeah. Okay, so there it is. Extreme high relief inverted edge lettering proof. This is the ultra high release ones. There are only. It's funny. It says there's a mintage of 2, but there's 3 graded, meaning one graded twice, and the one that graded twice was a 68, and the other one was a 69.
What year was that?
Say again.
What year was that?
07.
Oh, 07. Okay.
Yeah, that's the proof, but there's only 2 of those. The 68 sells for 4.6 million, and the 69 sells for 5.7 million.
Yeah, that's probably the one.
Yeah. But I don't see 12. There's only 2 of that one. So I'll look and see. I'm not sure which one it is. Oops. Time to put eye drops in my eyes and get on stream.
That's 1909, you said?
Yeah. So I'm not sure which one. There's a couple different ones.
Yeah, he said 1909 also.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, and I said 1909 first, but now that you said 1907, it reminded me that there was the one with the the lettered edge that was like super crazy high relief, and I couldn't remember what that coin was. So now I got me question to myself. I don't know if Mike is in here.
I think let's see, 1909. 3 of those coins, without a doubt. That's bold and beautiful. Top quality 1909D, gold double eagle, might be the finest known. I'm looking. Sorry, I'm looking.
That's okay. While you do that, I'm going to pull this up. Because this is cool as hell. Here's that one. This is from PCGS. Let me.
Okay, 1907 ultra high relief, mintage 16 to 22 estimated, and there are about 14 to 15 examples known of the 1907 ultra high relief.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's the high relief 1907. That's the one we were looking at.
Yeah, so this is go ahead.
1907 has the Roman numeral edge, has the Arabic numerals, and then let's see, 1908 no motto, 1908 no motto. Yeah, it looks like it's the 1907. The ultra high relief, 1907. Yeah. I think that must be the one he's talking about.
Yeah. So there's a number of them.
Here, I will put this article in the chat.
No, I got it right here. This is the one right here.
The NGC article?
This is PCGS, but it lists all of the various items, and then it shows you what the prices are. 4 million, there's 3 of them, 67, 2.5 million, 69, 5.2 million. This is the coin that you were referencing, and it breaks down and talks about this. I'll put that. You want to put the NGC one in there. I'll put the PCGS one in there. Those two articles are about the same coin. But there it is. It's a beauty. I would love to have one of these. Not one of these like this coin, but just a Godwin's double eagle.
I'd love to have one of everything.
Oh, I'm not greedy. There's only.
I am.
What's your favorite gold coin, Paula?
My favorite gold coin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm not into those. So it's probably that one. It's probably that one. No, it's gonna be a Stella.
See, now you're talking my language. And you and I, there's 3 gold coins that I absolutely love, and that the coiled hair and the flowing hair Stella are 2 of the 3. The other one is the 1859 braided, and it's the one of a kind that is at. Actually, there's 2 of them. They created 2 different styles, and they're at the Smithsonian, yeah, and absolutely amazing. Now, Jack, that's another one, my friend. How you doing? Good to see you. The Omega, but the Omega, there were multiple, so you can get him in 3, 5, 10, and 20, I believe, denominations. I know you can get them in 3, 5, and 20. So there's I think there's 4 different denominations of the Omega, and depending upon which.
Those are some of your coins, Acadian, that are a good hedge against inflation.
Yeah.
Get yourself a Stella.
Yeah. So you guys know what a Stella is? And I'm not talking about Stella Artois.
The most beautiful coins. Only one of those. And I don't even care that it's gold. It's just one of the most beautiful coins.
Yeah. This is, and I
yeah, the Stella.
Folks, she's a beauty.
If you do, okay, introduce them to Stella, would you?
This is Stella.
Meet Stella.
This is one of Stella. Stella has 2 versions. She has a flowing hair in this particular case. This is the 1879.
I happen to like the coiled better.
Flowing hair, and then there's the coiled hair. Well, you and me have the same. We've talked about the Stella for about as long as we've known each other.
Oh yeah. If you ask my granddaughter Izzy what my favorite coin is, she'll say Stella.
Yeah. So Matt THS. You and me both, man. All of my favorites are intangible. Yeah. So this is the flowing hair, and it's a beautiful piece. When you look at the design of this, now there was a very cool story regarding. Why am I hearing Stella in a Rocky Bow? Stella.
Isn't that lovely?
Adrian. Yeah. But when we're talking, there's a really cool story about why they created the $4 face value on this. And it had to do with the international trade. And so when you were looking at the value of the currency in Europe Germany, things of that nature, there was a transfer rate based off of that denomination, and so they did the $4. Now, if you look at the coiled hair, let me pull the coiled hair up. Oop, donk. Let's do. Stella and coiled. If I can spell. Now that's the pattern. This is, I'm going to show the pattern version instead of the gold one. This is even cooler. But it's not the gold one. This is the coiled hair, Stella, and oh yeah, a beauty. I had a flowing hair, not the coiled. So the Stella, yeah, if you had a Stella, that's cool. But yeah, this one.
Who had a Stella?
As you said, I had a flowing hair, not the coiled.
Azure, you had a Stella. Why are we not married? Or divorced at least.
Yeah, they're anyway, yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. So
anyway,
this is, yeah.
On that note, oh my goodness.
I'm a hair down type of fella. No, but again, when we talk about this, and then the other one that I was talking about is the 1859 graded. Oops. And that is, no, that's the half cent. Gold. I don't see it here.
Just go to PCGS Coin Facts. Go to the front. Are you looking for the Stella still?
No, looking for the other 1859.
Oh. 1859. What?
Hold on, I'll show you.
Just go to Coin Facts and then go to the gold coin section.
Say again? Go where?
Go to Coin Facts. Coin Facts. Just go to the main page and go to gold coins. Here. I'll put it in there.
That's the gold dollar. I clicked on the wrong one.
Oops. Here.
But this doesn't have the one of a kinds, does it?
What do you mean one of a kind? The patterns?
Or the, yeah.
Are you looking for patterns? No, that's just gold dollars. So click on where it says gold. Here's a link in the chat. Click on that. But if you're looking for patterns, you can scroll down and it has patterns. It has a section for patterns, but
Unfortunately, it doesn't list. That's the pattern Indian. I wish it actually told you what they were.
yeah, it does not tell you. What, you don't know what you're looking for though?
Oh, I know what I'm looking for. I have to pull it up.
Is it a gold?
Yeah, I'll do it a different way.
No. Good morning, everybody. Happy Memorial Day weekend. We went to the Boatneck Festival last night, and I'm so tired. We had the parade yesterday morning, and then we went and I ate too much food and walked too much. If you don't know what the Boatneck hair is, just look up Grants Pass Boatneck. And you can spend all day there looking at the people of Walmart. In the open, in their natural habitat. It is the most fun place here in Grants Pass to people watch. You see all kinds. He's so quiet. He's deep in his research.
No, I'm going to beat somebody because of what they just sent me via email.
Oh, that must have been Azure.
Yeah, so let me pull something up here just a second.
He's showing you his.
In order to do this, I have to.
He's gonna make us all jealous.
Well, something like that.
You're featured in those videos. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's.
I need to rotate.
My daughter-in-law and I last night were walking around, and I said, I look at some of these people, and I think, gosh, they must not have any like real friends, because real friends wouldn't let you go out of the house wearing some of the things that these people were wearing. I felt bad for them. Well, at least I know I wouldn't, but I'm your booger picking friend. I'm the one that's gonna pick a booger out of your nose if I see it. So that's the kind of friend I am. I'm not gonna let you walk around with a booger hanging out of your nose because I care.
All right, here we go. I had to do a little bit of editing so that I could get it to show up. Azure coins.
One of them, Kevin. I am one of them.
These are Azures.
Oh my! Really? Are you serious? Those are fake. They're chocolate.
He's got the verses of each in the images. I had to do it because it had to be rotated, but anyway, you suck. I mean, congratulations. Those are beautiful. Yeah.
Why are you hanging out with the likes of us, Azure? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, cool stuff.
May I have some more porridge, please?
He says those are real gold and they are coins, but they're not U.S. minted. They're Liberians.
Wait, what?
They're Liberians.
What? What are?
The coins that he just showed. They're minted in Liberia.
So those are not Stellas. Those are Susans. I don't know, what would you call a big Stella? Well, they look good to me. I need some coffee. Speaking of that, Katie, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, they're certified. They're crazy.
Wait.
Made in 2002.
I had a U.S. flowing hair.
I had a $4 flowing hair Stella, but sold it about 14 years ago.
Well, I would love for you to tell me the story, Azure, but I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some coffee.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't have that. That's for certain. You won't see that in my collection. Pretty neat. I know it's fun to hear stories. I enjoy talking to Eric about when he ran his little coin shop and all the 1914Ds Lincoln cents that he had available to him. And now looking back at it, he's just like, oh my God, all the money that I had sitting in my area, I would have loved to have had some of those back. Because he was selling them for $50, $60 at the time in VF35 or VF35. So like, oh, that's a $400 coin now. What's up, Coach? How you doing? Good to see you. Let's pull my graphic back up. Let's do this. All right, so let's get back into this aspect of the discussion. That was a good deviation, though, talking about some of the other gold coins and stuff. So again, I wanted to bring this up to your guys' attention. I'm going to be working towards doing more of this style stuff for you all. Give you quick glances. Really take a professional lens to some of the developments and some of the outputs that I'm working on. Again, I have all the tools and the resources because I do this for work, but try to bring some stuff for you guys. So let me mute her for just a minute. I'm not sure what that was. All right, that's gone. Hopefully she didn't spill her coffee on her computer. But I'll be providing you guys more of this kind of resources in various places. Yeah, that was really loud. What's going on, Adam? Good to see you. But I wanted to share with this because I got a lot of stuff like this that is going to be coming across. Oh, Jack. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me pull this up. That channel hasn't come back on the air yet. Let me pull this up real quick.
Okay, better. I got my coffee.
Your computer went ape crap while you were here. We had to mute you for a while.
It did?
Yeah, it started screaming and hollering at us.
Okay, I'm gonna plug my speaker in and all.
So I'm pulling up something, so give me just a minute while I pull this up, because Jack Young thought he would be funny and send me a photo. So I just want you guys to look at this, because, here's Jack's. See that, Paula? Oh, she went off.
I do see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Jack Young sent me that just now.
Oh, geez. Is it real or is it Memorax?
I was about to ask, is it authentic or no? Looks pretty good. Probably fake, though.
Sorry about that. You guys, I don't know what happened with my thing.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
It's Memorax, as I said, it's Memorax. Channel hasn't come back on the air yet. The static noise, like the old. Oh, I'm sorry. Did it play the national anthem before it went out? Remember that? Remember when they used to do that? Like you knew for sure that like it was midnight or 2 a.m. or whatever time they did it.
Because da 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 da.
Yeah, the national anthem would play, and then it would just all be, and then it would be, they're here.
Yep. Then you get the whole poltergeist screen.
Yeah, the whole poltergeist screen.
They would do the off air, and that's when people would go to channel 43 and look for the rare glimpse of something.
Yep. I got 2 MREs at the parade yesterday. So I'm gonna eat those with my grandkids. Those are fun. Sent the cert too, Jack said.
That would indicate that this is authentic.
Maybe let's look at the picture in the cert up against the.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I stopped sharing. Hold on. Let me pull that back up.
Or the cert may say, please call customer service. Possible counterfeit holder. There it is.
So if it's saying
counterfeit.
possible counterfeit holder, that mean the coin's not good?
Well, typically they don't put a genuine coin in a fake holder. Unless they swap out a details coin and put it, you know what I mean? Like put a details coin into a genuine holder, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So they'll take a details coin and swap it out with a 64.
Yeah, with a straight graded holder.
Yeah. I would never send that to NGC.
Why not?
I think he's talking about the Stella. He wouldn't send the Stella to NGC.
Why not?
He'd send it to CAC or PCGS.
I don't know why.
Well, it doesn't matter. Either place you send it, you're going to be getting back a hefty bill because of the price.
So, Invisible River Ranch, the coin is not worth more. If you were to sell it, PCGS and CAC grading usually get higher resale value, just because people, for whatever reason, like their holders better. But grading wise, I mean, they're all, I don't know. People love and hate them for different reasons. It's all about the holder.
Jack said, yes, the coin is a famous counterfeit. They noted it on the holder.
On the cert, nice.
Or on the cert, sorry. I didn't see that on the bottom. They just said possible counterfeit.
But I'm not happy with PCGS or NGC right now at all. Since they have gone big corporate, since they were bought out, there are some real problems with both of them as far as varieties and errors. Real problems. And people are not really happy with their grading either. Now, CAC grading has a lot of dealers and stuff are not happy with them because they use the ANA grading standards and they're strict. And they don't like that.
Yeah.
they have kind of eliminated the crackout game. I guess that's what it's called, crackout game, where people will try to find undergraded coins and crack them out and have them regraded. And yeah, so did I miss the SWOT conversation?
A majority of it, Coach, but that's okay. You can go back and watch it later.
We recorded just for you, Coach's Magic.
Yeah. So what the whole purpose of doing that is normally we kind of just chit chat and do whatever on Sundays, but I want to make sure that when I'm doing some of these things that I have something to put together for you guys. And again, I do this for work, and I was talking with Tiger the other day, and it's like I put out all this professional stuff for the work that I do. Why don't I use the same tools and just do some of that stuff here, right? I have no idea why I haven't been doing that. I put out some extremely professional looking materials for work. Why in the hell am I not doing that here? And there's a lot of history-based stuff that can be done, and so I'm working on something to help with that. That'll give you quick glances if you want to know like the general history. So some of the ones that I've done is the coin acts. What are the major coin acts that have affected silver and gold, silver standard, gold standard, that kind of stuff. What are the major coin acts? And what does that work in timelines? That one took me a long time. One that I'm releasing, the video that I'm releasing this week, is going to be on the various designs that are the various minting processes, or the various presses, excuse me, that have been used since the U.S. Mint's been in place. I've been working really hard to get a number of these things together, and I'm going to start releasing more and more and more of them to look more professional. Now, it doesn't mean that the content's going to be any more professional. It just means that it's going to have a more professional appearance. That's all. So,
Invisible River Ranch, CAC and CAC grading are two different places too. Remember that also.
Yeah, and not to be confused with the CCAC.
That's right. And I also, DGS, I also believe that is probably true also. So I do believe that they protected some of the registry set owners. I do believe that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And whether you think it's a good idea or not, could you imagine finding a hoard where you have a top grade and then all of a sudden you find 5 coins that are better? I mean, and it happens, right? Every once in a while you'll see a coin that grades higher or whatnot, but that would
Jack.
Yeah, that would jack the registries up bad.
Bad. Jack Young, do you have the article on the multiple date micro O Morgan dollar counterfeits? I couldn't find it.
Yeah, throw a link in there. That would be great if you could throw a link in there.
Yeah, the proxy blog thing on those.
And Jack Riley messaged me last night, and I didn't see it until this morning. I went to bed early.
They've done it to me, yeah. It's unfortunate, especially if some of those registry owners are stockholders. Yeah. Overpopulated radiates crackers doing their thing. Well, that's one of the reasons why you can't really go by like pop reports as far as graded examples, because like if you look and you say, well, there's only like 5 graded examples, well, that's not necessarily true, because, or saying the opposite, well, there's 500 graded examples, because people do play the crackout game, and unfortunately, even though they should report that it's a prior graded coin, they don't. People don't. So they don't really know for sure exactly how many have been graded, or how many of those numbers are regrades or crossover.
There's for the top coins, I mean, they take the good photos and stuff like that, but
yeah, not sure which article. Oh, yeah. So there was an article about the multiple dates on the micro O's, on the counterfeits, that had for years had been attributed as micro O's, but come to find out they were not. They were all counterfeits. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to look for it and see if I can maybe next week find it for you guys. But I think Jack Riley wrote a proxy blog about it. Jack Young and I are finally going to, I probably shouldn't say anything. I jinxed myself. Do you know that I jinxed myself last week? I don't know if you guys remember, because you probably tuned me out, and I don't blame you. But
say that again.
You jerk. Anyway, I said how I could break a computer. Yeah, well, I broke my computer last week. right after saying that on here. So I probably shouldn't say anything because my computer totally crashed. So I'm going to be doing that video that I planned on doing last week. I'm going to be doing it today on I'm going to use my son's computer because I know that's a good one. So he's letting me use that today to finally get Jack's thing out on the eBay stuff. and I'm looking for a good computer. I need a computer. So if anybody has any tips on the computer.
Hold on just a sec.
Probably why it was quite Acadian.
6 types of 34 quarters. That was the one that I seen on the standing Liberty quarters. 88 Morgan. The article expert review.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. If at any point you decide that you can't watch Frostbyte because I bother you too much, please email him and let him know, because he will tell me and I will not come on here anymore. I'm serious. And I'm just saying, I do not want people not watching him because they don't like listening to me. And so it will not hurt my feelings. It will hurt my feelings more if you don't say anything and you let me ramble on.
I'll tell people to suck eggs before I tell you to leave.
And then, well, I'm serious. I don't want them waiting 5 or 6 years to tell me that I'm bothering them. So.
No, it's all good. I'll tell people to suck eggs before I do that.
And help you guys in other ways. I'll help you in other ways.
I put my bird feeder on for the sound only. No, but again, so I would, when in the field that I work in, and Paul and I both worked medical, but in the field that I work in, one of the major aspects of professional development and professional responsibility is deference to expertise. And I am learning a lot, but I don't know very much. And I don't say that to be degrading to my understanding or how much I've worked to try to learn. It's just a reality. And my goal is not to be the be all end all. There's no way that can happen, especially starting so late. There are people who start earlier in their careers and they've got decades. I've got just a few years. What I like to do and what I've been able to do because of people like Paula and Chuck is be introduced to people like Jack Young and Jack Riley and Coin Show Podcast and Blue Ridge Silverhound and some of those folks, because of my relationships with certain people. And that has advanced my knowledge tremendously. But I don't fall under the pretense that just because you don't like the way somebody does something doesn't make them an expert. I've got a lot of doctors that I work with that are asshats. And they have no bedside manner. They are ignorant. They are rude, but they are some of the best people in the industry. And so I've learned to be frank with them and say, hey, you know what? Filter. Like, turn it on. Come on, let's get back in place. Remember what we're doing. But even then, I make mistakes when it comes to dealing with people. And, again, had somebody who I appreciate calling me out, saying, hey, you handled something inappropriately. And I've got to go rectify that. I felt like I was just, and the more I think about it, the more that I have to kind of second guess myself and go, maybe I wasn't, right? Frosty Blue sucks at research. Yes, that's true.
Pretty good at it.
Well, it's fun for me to learn. And Paula and I do this. Matter of fact, we did this one time, and God, I think we joked about it for about 40 minutes. because we saw something. She called me and said, "Look at this." And then we spent like the next 6 hours searching for another example of this. Right? That was the 83/82.
There, he sent it to me.
Right? And we spent hours and hours and hours looking at this. And she called me later on in the night. She's like, "I've been on here for like 6 hours. I haven't been able to let this go. I can't find any examples." And we just started laughing because we were both doing the same thing. It's fun when you get into those grooves. Now, I don't do research just to do research. That's not my thing. I love to learn. But what really makes me happy is when I can share the stuff that somebody has taught me and help that person make sense, right? Sometimes Paula will say something that I'm like, "Oh my God, I get it." And I've been looking at it and I understand it. My example is in Qs, right? Remember when we had that discussion? And right, it was the double die. It was the what was the one that had the EC, the quarter?
That was the, oh my gosh. It was one of the earlier ones.
I can't remember. Not the Sally Ride. It's not the
not the Maya. It's not the I don't know. I'll look. Hang on a second. I'm
Bessie Coleman. There you go.
So this article,
Southern Coin Hunter. Thank you.
This is why I could not find it, because it's not a new article. It goes back to 2005. Oh my gosh. I just saw it, so I thought it was new. I'm like, oh look, it's brand new information.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It was the Bessie Coleman quarter. That was good call on that Southern Coin. Good job, Eric. And I had all the information correct, except I was wrong because I had it backwards. Because I didn't quite understand exactly what InQs was. And she was like, "Well, no, it's like this and do this." I'm going, well, so in my own way of thinking about stuff, it's like like a wave, right? The relief is the crest. The other is a trough. And she's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "I get it. I understand." And the concept stuck with me. And so what I want to do when I get this information is try to, and you guys have heard me do this. Hold on, Chuck, just a second. Hold on, Eric. Hold on, Paula. What does that mean? You just said this word. What does that mean? And try to find those and make it, do deep dives in stuff, but make it very simple. And that's what I want to do, right? That's how I enjoy this. So doing the research, being able to explain it, taking something really complicated, making it simple. It's hard to do, and I get it wrong a lot. But I enjoy that. Like I really, how do you explain this to somebody? I've got a short that's coming out, actually 2 hours. It'll come out regarding the Schuler Edge letterpress. Pretty cool. Just learned about that thing. Really neat piece of equipment. And it led me to a question, and I went down a rabbit hole, right? So we'll be talking more about some of that stuff. But yeah, I love doing research. It's fun. What's up, freaking awesome? Good morning, sir. Thank you for sharing a live coin Q&A's link. Always appreciate you being here.
Oh, thanks, freaking awesome.
Chappie, what's going on? Austin's Positive World, good morning. Make sure you guys are checking out day 2 of the Wounded Warrior, the John Howe Memorial Wounded Warrior Project. There are going to be some amazing lots today, like some GSA Morgans, a couple amazing Angry Warrior pours. Breach Metals has done some really cool stuff. Neat neat stuff, some high pricey items on there too. So be aware, lots and lots and lots of goodies today. So go check that out. Cappy, are you going to be on today? Are you going to be presenting? If so, put what time down, and then you guys can go eat lunch at that time frame. Just kidding, Cappy.
Poor Cappy.
He's like, screw you, Frosty. No.
No, I'm going to try to at least pop in there for a minute today, but
yeah, see, Acadian, that's exactly the kind of stuff I want to do. Sorry, Paul, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, say that again.
No, you're fine. I was going to tell, I think it was Acadian that said that he has a slab that won't scan, but the cert number, putting the cert number at work. I would be
Larry?
I would question that.
Yeah.
If you can't. Now, mind you, sometimes the scanning app on PCGS screws up sometimes. So before you panic, I would uninstall it and reinstall it and then try it again.
Yep, I agree.
Many counterfeits won't scan with the app. But the cert number, you can put it in. But if there is a picture of the coin, you should be able to tell if your coin matches that coin on the cert. If there's not, then yeah, I would question it. And I'll tell you that the people that you mentioned that you got it from, I have seen counterfeits come from them, but they don't know. So yeah.
A great example of that is, and Jack has shown tons and tons and tons of these. Paula, if you want to go grab an example of this, I know that you've worked with him a lot, so you might have one quicker than I do. The Morgans are a prime example of a coin that may not scan utilizing the app, but if you
Morgans, you can go look at Live Coin Q&A, look at our video that I did with Jack. Yeah,
so you won't be able to scan it, because if you look at the authentic item, the serial number is totally wrong. The counterfeit Morgan, that serial number, there's a grouping up at the very front, and it's kind of like a block that's very, very clear. It won't scan because it doesn't scan to that particular number. But the cert number is, quote unquote, a real cert number. So yeah, again,
they are Acadian, and it's not. There are counterfeits. Like I said, I've done a few now with Jack, and some of them get past. Some counterfeits actually end up straight grading from the grading companies. They even get past the graders. So through my friendship with Jack, I have seen, and being on in his Facebook group and stuff, and watching some of the stuff, I have seen many trustworthy dealers that have ended up with counterfeit stuff, and they're really there. But the difference is when it is brought to their attention, they will typically pull it right down. So, I mean, even the best, some of these counterfeits get past them, and when they're dealing in that place that you mentioned, that seller, they deal in high volume.
What seller was that?
Huh?
What seller was that?
Well, I don't really want to say the name because we don't know if the coin that he has if it's just a problem. I don't really want to say the name because we don't know if that coin that he has is a counterfeit or not. It's just not scanning, and that makes me question it. If the barcode is not scanning, I question it.
Acadian, send me a picture of it.
Yeah. If you can take really good pictures.
Yeah, send me a really good clear picture.
Yeah, real good pictures. We can do some research into it for you for sure.
We have two of the experts online right now. Hey, Jack Riley. Good morning.
Yeah, we know people.
He's like,
We
listen,
know
bugger, you didn't message me last night and tell me you were going live.
you're not doing any business with Sarasota Coin.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't
Yeah.
see that till this morning, Jack.
Yeah. They do use a common barcode, a common but bad barcode, and it is. We talked to Jack. Jack talked about that in the video we did. The Morgan. The Morgan. My son's name is Morgan.
So I want you guys to know something. You guys know Vote for Pedro's a pretty outstanding dude. Okay.
I like that.
The effort of what he does. Now, he did something for Bifrost. And I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but I just want to tell him thank you. As a person who loves the arts, I've worked really hard with my daughter over the years to allow her to craft her stuff, to nurture her, to give her whatever she needs. And she has this innate ability to do stuff that I always look at and go, it's not because of my daughter. She's talented. She's just talented. And she does some amazing stuff. But Vote for Pedro has a heart for the arts. And I showed you guys what she's done for Wounded Warrior, right? I showed you guys the drawing. Let me put this here and zoom out a little bit. This is the helmet and the boots. I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit on this. Actually, let me do this. Let me do that. So you see the boots that are there, and then it's not a big piece. It's a little bit bigger than 5x7. And this is going to be one of the things that she's like, I don't have silver or gold, Dad. I don't have coins. And I'm like, well, draw something if you want to do something for Wounded Warriors. So today at 3 Central, Bifrost and I are going to be on, and she's going to be auctioning off this piece. But Pedro did something really nice for Bifrost, and to help her ensure that she continues to do this, he's basically given her a spot on every Wounded Warrior auction moving forward to commemorate either Veterans Day or Memorial Day, to draw something in art that's going to be done every time to ensure that she's able to support this in her own unique way. And I love Pedro. He's a good man, but I just, when people do kind things for your kids, amazing.
Yeah.
So I just want to tell him thank you. One, for supporting her craft, but she wants to do something nice for that. And so, Pedro, I love you, brother, and I appreciate you. More than you know. So thank you so much. Yeah, that'll be coming up today. But yeah, I just wanted to say a special thanks to Vote for Pedro, because he's done a lot to support Bifrost's art and get her, and so she's been able to get the tools that she needs and updated pens and stuff like that. So if you see him, just the dude's a stud. Genuinely, the dude's a stud. So make sure you go over support Wounded Warrior. This guy engaged Blue Angels, and Blue Angels is matching everything that is done.
I know, I love
for
him.
this. The stuff that he's taking care of. He allowed me to use some of my writing capability to introduce Sergeant Major Dan Milley yesterday to talk about PTSD and some of the things that our veterans face and why Wounded Warriors are so good. And he's so gracious, so kind. So please, when you guys see Pedro, drop love for him and just tell him that you appreciate. He works really, really, really hard. He's pulling 16-hour days doing the auction and then sending out confirmations for every single lot that goes through. So make sure you're dropping him a bunch of love today, just to show him that you have appreciation for him. Okay. There's a lot of great people that do a lot of amazing things, and I'm not knocking MLZB, Cash, Jenny, Sassy, Chappie. Well, I'll forget Chappie. No, I'm just kidding, Chappie. I have to tease you because I know you're here. Nash, Snoopy. There's so many people that have worked so hard to get some things together for Wounded Warriors. So, huge shout out to you all for putting an amazing series of lots together. Well, Chappie, I always tease Chappie. Chappie's like my brother. You know, the retarded one that's adopted. Anyway, just kidding, Chappie. Love you, brother.
Katie, what happened? You lost your green. You have more. You must have more than one channel.
What do you mean you lost his green?
Well, because he has a different audio avatar, and he has a he was in green earlier.
Oh,
he just came in again with a different audio avatar, and he's not green anymore.
He might be on his. He's a carpenter, so he might be on his other account.
Yeah, he just has a different thing.
Yeah, send the photos, and when you send the photos, we'll pull that up.
Oh, bye, Azure. Have a great day. Pompano Beach.
Take care, bud.
I want to go to the.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. And folks, oh, I jumped on my laptop. That's why. Okay. I'm going to say this for everybody. It's just what I do. If you're going to be drinking, please don't drive. We don't need to lose any friends this weekend. Okay. Designated driver, hire an Uber. They're cheap. Have a designated driver. Make sure your designated driver doesn't drink. If you are somebody that likes to do designated driving, tell the bartenders. A lot of bartenders will give you free soda and stuff like that. If you let them know that you're a designated driver. So a lot of places, if you're going to be out with your friends and designating driving, drinking is bad, yes, but if you're going to do it, then just be responsible.
Yeah.
This is the weekend I really think about my friend who was killed during the build-up phase of the First Gulf War. Yeah, and we're in that time frame, right? There's certain parts in the year where we had certain conflicts and stuff like that where loss of life was pretty high. So we're in a season between May and August where we had a lot of loss of life during that Operation Desert Storm and stuff like that. So,
there are a lot of veterans who don't make it through these weekends.
Yeah.
Because it's not they just don't. It's not a happy time for them.
I'm gonna read you guys something really fast. And this was, if you were on the Wounded Warriors thing yesterday, but it's really important. And I'm just going to read just a small portion of this. There's a lot of veterans who will be in the stream or on panel, and we're talking specifically about Wounded Warrior, but just in general, who've had to deal with some pretty pervasive and destructive things: substance abuse, PTSD, divorce, fractured families, loss of loved ones, the profound sense of loss that comes with losing esprit de corps. The esprit de corps is the camaraderie that's found within military service. It's the one that helps you identify and define a purpose, right? You have a job, you have a mission, you're doing it, you're living it. That's who you are. You're embodied by that. When you separate from military service, a lot of people don't know how to separate from that. If you have friends that are vets, right, and it goes to, like, you know, supporting people in the holiday season. Don't volunteer only at Christmas. Volunteer all year long. Everybody volunteers during Christmas. Everybody volunteers during Thanksgiving, but volunteer all year long. But it's really important that if you if you hear somebody, and we talk about this, we have people in chat that we talk to quite frequently, and I have stopped streams. Great example. We have a good friend of ours, and I'm not picking on him. He will tell you, and if we will ask him, I will stop the stream. And our buddy Kraken, right? He struggles with this. The loss of his child really tore him up, and he struggles. And sometimes it's worse than others. And he'll come in and he will tell us, "Hey, I need help. Hey, I'm struggling." And we will stop it. We will get people to call him, and we will connect with him, and we will do that. Folks, if you notice that stuff, do not pawn it off as, "Oh, maybe I don't want to be whatever." Be whatever. Take a minute and say, "Hey, you don't sound right. Are you okay?" "Well, I'll be fine." No, 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 no. Are you okay?" "Well, I'm having a really hard time." Take a minute. If you don't have time, make time. Or get somebody who knows them. You coordinate it. Make sure that person's taken care of. Do not dismiss that gut feeling that something's wrong. You might save somebody's life. Now, I'm not telling you to become their counselor. In many cases, that's a bad idea. But it is very important that if you sense or you feel that something's wrong, ask. Okay? Yeah, he's a good dude, but every once in a while, he just has a tough time. And we know it. We love it about him. And he comes in and he's honest, and he'll cry with you, and he'll talk with you, and then he'll tell you he's better. He just needed somebody to stand alongside of him. And so we have other people in this series. We have other people in this set. We have other people in this channel. Paula, right? You struggle from time to time. I struggle from time to time. We all do. And if you get that feeling, if you just that something's wrong, do something, say something, right? Go, just ask them, and don't be doing it in passing, right? There's nothing more disheartening to somebody. "Hey, how you doing?" "Well, I'm having a tough day." "Well, I hope it gets better. We'll see you later." That is extremely
sometimes people just don't want to talk.
Yeah.
And so you understand that too. Some people don't. They just don't talk about it. So
yeah. And Major General Dan, or Major General, I just promoted the shit out of him. Sergeant Major. Yeah, that was Major General, Sergeant Major. That was a whole totally different rank. Yeah, congratulations on the advancement there, Mr. Marine. As like, hey, I struggle with this. I do this, and I have my down days. But you're never alone. Nobody here is alone. And so for those of you that have done this, and I'm going to tell you what, sometimes it's hard to hear the truth from people, but I have much more respect for somebody that's going to come and tell me, "Frosty, I don't like the way you did something. Frosty, I don't agree with you." And talk to me one-on-one. Let's have that discussion. Tell me what you're angry about. Tell me what you're sad about. Tell me what's happening. Let's walk through this. Let's work through this. And again, you may not change my mind. Paula and I talk about this all the time. You may not change my mind, but you may give me an insight that I didn't have before. So don't be willing, or don't be afraid of trying to reach out and talk to somebody regarding these particular things, especially in or around holidays. So.
Oh, good, Acadian. Okay. False alarm.
My grandfather was the oldest member of the Guard to ever be called to duty from the Newcastle Guard. He sent me pictures of bombs, chalk message. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, a lot of cool things happen during these times of the years, but again, they can be very sad for many people. So
they're tough.
Yeah, they can be very, very tough. So again, if you have that gut feeling, if you have whatever, pay attention to that. All right, folks. Well, it is 9:30 Central Time frame. I have enough time.
And bye, everybody.
Love you, Paula. Appreciate you.
See you later. Bye. Yep. See you guys.
I am going to go grab me some coffee, sit with my wife for a few minutes. I'm going to get online and prepare for the Wounded Warrior. So get over there. If I can have some people drop that in chat, I would greatly appreciate it. I need to restart my machine before I get over there. If you have questions, email them to me. Katie, and we'll come back and we'll do something on that. We'll make sure this is all taken care of. But you guys have a wonderful day. Please get over again, if you see Pedro, share your love and your appreciation for all the work he's doing. I know that he will appreciate that. All right, folks, this is Frosty. I'm out. We'll see you over at the Wounded Warrior Benefit. Be well, be blessed, and I will see you all shortly.